The story begins as a group of kids dreams about becoming treasure hunters.
そして目指すはただ一つ。世界最強の英雄だ。
With the goal of obtaining riches and glory. Everyone is in total agreement, including the kid that's just like a cardboard box, and they vowed to become the best heroes in the world. Treasure hunters travel the world to explore ruins called treasure vaults, so they can collect the relics hidden inside. They risk their lives fighting monsters called phantoms, but in return they can obtain vast riches and glory. A very highly regarded clan is holding interviews for potential new members, and our protagonist named Kruai waits in line. There is a limit to how far a solo hunter can go, so it's vital to join a party if they have their sights on a high goal. Some girl named Ruta introduces herself to Kruai because he's the only one around that doesn't look like a creep, but Kruai awkwardly doesn't shake her hand.
よろしく。
僕はKurai Andolihy.
Ruta wants to join a party because she has been having a hard time with a certain treasure vault, but some guy mocks her for trying to do so while only being level 3. Ruta is insulted when he calls her an amateur, but the guy points out that she's too low of a level to join the renowned First Steps clan. He recommends that she just run to her mommy, so Ruta challenges him to a fight. The argument is broken up, and Kruai is glad that the commotion is over. Inside, Ruta is overwhelmed by all the hunters that are trying to join the First Steps clan, and she is shocked to hear that this is Kruai's 5th time being at one of these interviews. Skill is everything for hunters. Those with talent can instantly make a name for themselves and climb the ranks. Those without talent, however, can only cling to the few chances that they get. The First Steps clan consists of several parties, and the Arc Brave party is the strongest. At this interview, they even managed to complete a level 7 treasure vault with just 6 of their members. Their leader is Arc Rodin, and if he accepts a hunter, then they are guaranteed to be successful. However, as far as Kruai knows, the Arc Brave has never accepted a new member through one of these interviews. Their tables surrounded by a ton of interviewees. Ruta wonders why another party only has one single empty chair. And the big guy named Greg comes out of nowhere and explains at that table that he belongs to the party that originally founded First Step. They are called the Grievers, and they came to the capital years ago with their overabundant talent. They made a name for themselves as one of the top parties in the capital. Their full name is the Grieving Souls, and they're actually the party of Kruai's childhood friends. This is the first time that the Grievers are accepting new members, and it's the entire reason so many people came out to the event. There is no one at the table, so it seems like this might have just been a false rumor. One red-headed kid makes his presence known by saying that he has no time for losers, and he demands to know where the Grievers are. He boasts about already being level 4, and he was planning to allow the capital's strongest party to recruit him. Some girl named Tino is stopped from showing up in this kid's place, but Tino plans to make it quick just like her sister would do. She wants to teach him a lesson because she deserves to be in Grieving Souls before this kid. But she is reminded that the clan master told her not to make a scene. It's too late, as everyone antagonizes them and they make room for a fight. Tino is eager to get going, but Kruai is worried about something, and he tells Ruta to come outside with him. The redhead wants to do some trash talking, but Tino plans to hear what he has to say after she chops his head that off, because, again, that's what her sister would do. As Kruai makes his escape, he thinks about how he never should have come today. As anticipation for the fight reaches its peak, Tino senses something shocking enough to draw her attention away. She completely ignores the feverish chanting for the battle and pays no attention to the redhead powering up his sword. Instead, her focus is now completely on Kruai. Tino shocks everyone by rushing to Kruai. But what's even more strange is that she calls him Master. It turns out the Kruai is actually the first step of clan master and leader of Grieving Souls. The clan was waiting for him to get started, and everyone is shocked to realize who he is. In this golden age of treasure hunters, one man stood amongst all of them, and his name is Kruai. Several years before all this, Kruai and his friends arrived at the capital. They were new, but they were finishing treasure vaults suited for beginners and record speeds. One time, Kruai was saved by his friend, but his friend just assumed that he was just acting as bait. Kruai and his friends all shared the same dream of becoming great hunters, but the amount of talent they had was not equal. His 5 friends possessed monstrous potential, so Kruai considered himself to be exceedingly ordinary compared to them. That was when Kruai decided that he would only get in their way if he stayed with them. They were all really close friends, so they never said anything. So Kruai knew that he would have to make the decision to leave himself. Kruai told them all goodbye one day, but they shockingly decided to make him their leader instead. They were all in total agreement, so Kai wondered if they even listened to what he just said. The decision was already made for him. So Kai has spent the last 4 years as the leader of a party of his gifted childhood friends, the entire time wishing that he could just retire from being a hunter altogether. Back to the present, Ruda can't believe that she was talking to the clan master of First Steps. Kai was super late to the interview because he overslept, but Mark thinks that it was just a joke. Tino tells Ark to get away from him because she hates how superficial he is. Ark just thinks she's joking too. He credits Kai for diligently scouting the crowd, but he's way off. Ark's impressed that Kai went undercover without his uniform, but again, Kai points out that he really just overslept. Tino has had enough of Ark, so she wants him to be removed from the clan altogether. But this guy is a leader of Ark Brave. Tino was a solo hunter affiliated with First Steps, and she's an apprentice to Kai's childhood friend named Liz. Kai says that there's no room for new members in the Grieving Souls, but he gets an idea, and he wonders if Ark Brave would take in a new member if he recommended them. Ark trusts Kruai with all his heart, so he says that he would. This shocks everyone in the room because Ark Brave rarely ever accepts anyone. Bart says that one person wouldn't hurt. Kruai is glad that Ark is such a generous guy, but one of their members is furious about having someone forced onto their team. Tino assumes that she's the one he will be recommending, so she is really grateful. She is distracted when the mullet head from earlier wants his revenge, but Kruai says to leave him be. The kid introduces himself as Gilbert, and Kruai is surprised to hear that he isn't in a party, even though he's level 4. Kruai can tell that this kid won't be an asset immediately, but he will become something special once he gets training from Ark and the others. Kruai, however, is really bad at judging people, so whoever he picks to join Ark will be totally based on luck. Kruai then shocks everyone when he chooses to recommend Gilbert, but only on one condition. He explains that the most important thing for a hunter is to not lose, because being weak only puts their party in danger. Because of this, he needs Gilbert to show that he's not going to lose. Kruai gives Gilbert a fair warning though, because he has never lost a single time since becoming a hunter. Everyone is amazed by Kruai's confidence, but Kruai knows that this fact is only true because he has actually never been in a proper fight before. Kruai doesn't plan to fight directly this time either. He makes things way more interesting by telling everyone that whoever ends up with his ring will be the one he recommends to join Ark Brave. Kruai starts off the madness by giving the ring to Gilbert, so Tino instantly kicks the mullet head right in his face. The ring is dislodged from his hands, and everyone wonders if he's even alive anymore. Everyone goes crazy as they go after the ring, and Kruai tells them that it's actually a relic that they can keep if they get it. As the chaos intensifies, Kruai says goodbye to the 2 he met earlier and decides to head home. Then the next day, Kruai is told that he made the front page news. He made a huge fight break out, and it ended up with the entire venue getting blown up. The Vice Clan Master is Ava, and Kruai tells her to use Ark Brave's funds to pay for the repairs. Ava thinks that Kruai depends on Ark way too much, but Kruai doesn't think much of it. Ark is a really laid-back guy, so Kruai wants him to speak with the Angry Explorers Association for him as well. The Explorers Association wants to speak with Kai directly, but Kruai doesn't want to go outside without an escort. To make things worse, his disguised relic was broken as well. His disguised relic is called the Reversible Face, and it allows its user to have any face they want. Eva assures him that no one will attack him during the day, so Kruai decides to just go. At the Explorers Association, Kruai begs for mercy and apologizes for causing so much commotion. The association branch manager is Guard, and he tries to calm Kruai down. Kruai frantically continues to defend himself and points out that no civility would hurt Gark's assistant, which is that Gark wouldn't scold Kruai so hardly, but Gark points out that he hasn't even said anything yet. Gark explains that while no one has formally complained about the incident, clans like First Steps still need to set an example for the other hunters. He can't just let Kruai go unpunished. The Explorers Association gets tons of jobs, and some of them hardly pay any money. The other problem they have is that some jobs are so incredibly difficult that nobody will do them. The hunters call these types of jobs chores. Kark plans to punish Kruai with one of these chores, and he gets upset when Kruai seems like he's going to reject it. Kruai clears things up by accepting the punishment, but he points out that what he did this time wasn't actually that bad. Kruai looks through the book of chores, and he plans to pick an easy one that he would just pass on to Ark anyway. Kruai finds the perfect level 3 chore, and he calls it corpse retrieval duty. The girl points out that it's actually a rescue mission, and she wishes that he wouldn't joke about the hunters not surviving. After he leaves, Garka is impressed with Kruai for actually choosing the most dangerous mission. When he returns to his clan house, Kruai is shocked to hear that everyone else in the clan is out doing something. Tino reveals that she ended up with his ring because she didn't want anyone else to touch it, and she is glad to hear that she can really keep it. She is surprised when Kruai asks, so she is free right now, and she eagerly says that she has never been more free in her life. Tino's clearly expecting him to ask her out on a date, but Kruai just wants her to do the chore. Tino runs away as fast as she can, but Kruai uses his hounding chain to capture her. Tino has never been more disappointed, as she just wanted to go have some ice cream with Kruai. Instead, he just pushed a terrible chore onto her. What's worse is that she's just a level 4, and she can't rescue 5 people on her own. Tino knows that he sends his subordinates on missions where they nearly meet their demise to make them stronger, but she begs Kruai not to get carried away with this kind of Spartan training. Kai agrees that she shouldn't go alone. Tino assumes that this means he will be going with her, but she is disappointed to find that he just teamed her up with the hunters he met earlier. I appreciate you viewing my anime recap, Unruly Family. Please let me know what you think about this anime recap by liking, sharing, and commenting. And please subscribe to the channel to help us reach 5,000 subscribers.
Take you